right, you love him, you want to live with him forever. You said for till death do us part, and it's going to be that way. By God, you never get a divorce. But you are sleepwalking through your marriage. You remember those days when you courted? Steaming up the windows of the old Chevy? Well, what happened, Bonnie Hartman and Perry? Aren't you honest enough to step forward and say, among other things, that you have a baby 13 months?
Yeah.
How long you been married?
We've been married 3.5 years.
Well, a good-looking, talented, young couple like yourself should not be sleepwalking. I don't know if that's the metaphor you'd use. How do you feel about your relationship?
Well, obviously you mentioned the baby before she came. Both of us being musicians, we're extremely busy promoting, doing shows, writing music, recording. And that all changed. We moved from California to Chicago and both started working what people call real jobs, and then had the baby, and now we do nothing. We take...
That's an understatement.
You've decided to stay home. Is that so,
Yes.
Bonnie? You want your baby, you'd rather not put the baby in daycare.
Right.
Well, as you know, we get paid here for being pushy. Intimacy has not, it's not the 4th of July every night. Do I understand this?
Definitely not.
Every night? Every month, year? Yeah.
So
it's been so long, Phil, that I even if I was able to jump back on the horse, I'd fall right off.
You would, huh?
I'd probably be so nervous, just like the first time. Wait a sec, that's actually the secret of a marriage. Don't do it for 13 months, and then as soon as you get to it, it's like the first time.
Yeah. Well, Perry.
Yeah.
Very good. The audience is entertained. But I say again, we're grateful to you both because you're stepping forward here. We think you're speaking for lots of other people. And so you've consented to discuss this publicly. The truth of the matter is that it has been a while since for you both, huh?
Yes.
Like
Our anniversary.
When is this?
Our anniversary.
Which was?
October 20th.
But now it's been, we've had sex one time within the last 13 months. I mean, looking at her, I think you can imagine how strong I must be because, I mean, realistically, it's been immensely difficult for me. Just, I mean, what can I say except it's just,
well, you've said the truth, though, which is that this feature of your relationship is certainly an absent, and you don't like it. Can we put it this way?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. No, it's terrible. I mean, it's not her and it's not me. I think it's something else. I just don't know what.
Excuse me, we have Dr. Sigmund Freud already has his hand in the air here. Sir?
I was just wondering, have you not had sex because of the jobs? Is it because of the kid? Like, or is it just because it's fizzled out?
Very good question. Speak to this.
We don't really know.
It's, first of all...
We're very busy, very tired.
Since I work both jobs, I come home at 9:30, sometimes 10 o'clock. She's exhausted all day, so neither of us really, I guess, I mean, I myself, I could come home every night and I don't see a problem. I think it's just first of all having a baby that really, I mean, it's given her some mental, I don't know, it's
changed me.
You're in the same bedroom?
No.
No.
She still sleeps in the baby's room.
This is not about snoring, is it?
Yeah.
Whoa! Where'd you come up with that one? Good shot. No.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that, honey?
Serious problem. It's gotten worse as we've been together. He is seeing a doctor for snoring, but I'm a light sleeper, and then anyone who has a child would realize after you have a baby, you become very sensitive to sounds around you. So I started sleeping with the baby. Actually, I started sleeping by myself when I was about 7 months into my pregnancy.
You tried to get back, though, didn't you?
Tried, you know.
And then, what is this? It's sort of like the Persian Gulf War, isn't it, when it starts, huh?
Oh, God.
The windows.
I woken up in the baby's room from him in the master bedroom. Through the wall, I could hear it.
Yeah. This audience should know that Demeanor Renshaw stands by to talk to us about these very distracting issues in this couple's marriage. We have 4 couples on the show today who will give us their own profile, and we're going to ask Dr. Renshaw to talk about it. And we're also then, before this program is over, going to ask these couples to give us suggestions as to what they might want to do to improve their own relationship. And we're going to go with them when they do that. We'll explain this to you as this goes on. We've got so much work to do. I just want to make sure. Snoring, wow. I mean, who can't identify with this? Isn't funny, and it's not a matter of character, and some of the greatest people on earth snore.
He's having surgery.
Are you? Is it a deviated septum or whatever?
I'm not sure. All they said is that there's some kind of sores in my nose and that the middle bone in my nose is crooked. So,
okay.
And then supposedly cutting off that little punching bag.
Right. Bunny, it's also true that you hated your looks when you were pregnant. Isn't that so?
I was really scary looking.
She looked
in your head, you were.
No, I had an allergy to everything I put on my skin. So.
Do I understand that your husband also has this feature of his personality, which has been talked about by so many women in past programs? Your feeling is that he's not listening to you?
He does not listen. He definitely, he'll admit to it. He does not listen.
But he pretends that he is.
He pretends that he is sometimes, and a couple days later you realize, you bring up the topic of what you had spoken about previously, and he says, what are you talking about? You never say anything. Or now he'll tune me out, and when I'm done and when he's done listening to whatever he was listening to other than me, then he'll say, what did you say? So he'll let me go on and on and on, which I'm not thrilled with, of course.
You sit next to, on our show, Nick Dimel. Is that pronounced correct?
It was done as an adventure. You know, we live in a small town, we work, and coming to New York, going to a play, going to Soho, going to Greenwich Village is an adventure in itself. So
we've had a great time in the 10 hours we've been here, however long it's been.
Over here, please.
I just wanted to ask the first two couples, have either of you ever been to therapy or talked to a priest or a rabbi or something to make it better?
Just marriage counseling but our marriage counselor was divorced, so I kind of, I had a small challenge about that.
Yeah, that's sort of like a doctor with a cough, isn't it? Well,
I'm reacting to Perry feeling very left out, and there is a definite role change. Both of you talked about the shift with the baby, and you stop for the time being, primarily being lovers, and then you're primarily being parents, and that's what the two sets are going through right now. And what you've also talked about, I don't know about Mark and Kathy, but you've become mother and you've become father, and that takes precedence. You can't do much when a baby is screaming, and you've got to attend to the baby to meet their needs, and you become secondary. And that's a real high-risk time that you then find time to nurture us, because the two-letter word me and me make an us, and you lose that unless you keep nurturing it. Even 10 minutes in the daytime, you've got to find us time, and probably the best education for your children, if you're affectionate with each other, if you show real, genuine affection. I'm not talking about groping and sexual, I'm talking about real affection. And I don't know how much you're able to show that in front of your kids.
Well, we can't, everyone's always kissing each other. We're kissing the TV, we're kissing everything, because the baby is in that stage. So, you know, she sees Barney on TV.
I'm talking about special between the two of you, not kissing a TV set.
She kisses me on TV. Well, we understand that.
So I think she doesn't see so much of it, though we went through a stage Perry suggested, you know, that I sit on his lap for a particular amount of time, and we take out time for a hug or something. And because now that the baby's doing that, she wants to hug and kiss everything. I think that it helps. Yeah, I think we should probably do it a lot more, though.
And it's normal if she feels a bit jealous about it. You've got to expect that.
Oh, very jealous.
Right. But you've also got to show her that us comes first. You're better parents if you're together more. Right. And so that is very important. But you've really got to keep making time for yourselves, and I think that's why I came from Chicago, because I think this is an important topic. A lot of people struggle with the same thing. Now, who was it with time? I think it was you two who said we don't have the time. I've threatened to invent a 36-hour day and market it. But then if we had 36, we'd want 48.
Yes, we would.
And it's an illusion that time controls us. If any of us here won $100,000, we would make an hour to go fetch it downtown. And so it's like winning the lottery when we take us time. I think it's very important that they're taking the time here to say we need something more, which is really attention.
Yes. I am very impressed with the forthright
openness
and diagnosis coming from these couples who very much love each other and want their marriage to be improved. I should remind our audience that Dr. Renshaw is the director of the Loyola Sex Therapy Clinic in Chicago and visited our program, we should say, can it be, more than 20 years ago, your first visit to our program. Neither of us have changed a bit since those days. Now, among other things, we've asked them, and I think with your encouragement, we've asked them what it is they'd like to do something different or something they've longed to do. May I ask, let's start with Bunny and Perry Hartman. What is it, Bunny, that you think, or is it Perry's idea? Have you decided?
We think alike, exactly, so we didn't have to think.
You think alike.
Well, actually...
We, for our one-year anniversary, she blindfolded me and stuck me in our car and drove me to the Sybaris. And when I was on
Sybaris.
The Sybaris is a chalet, kind of a romantic, kind of a suite that has a slide that goes downstairs into a pool. And I mean, we had the amount of time that we spent on sex was this much. The rest of the time I was on the slide. I mean, we had the greatest time. There was so much fun.
We drank and we had so much fun.
It was a great time.
We videotaped it.
No kidding.
Yeah, we're like, this is the
not everything.
So, but this is an environment that encourages romance, though. We should understand that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's now whether if it's going to help our situation, let's try. I mean, let's go every single day. Who needs sleep? We'll just sleep there.
Sure.
Use the video.
Huh? Yes. So you've decided to go to the Sybaris Chalet.
The Sybaris, correct.
Sybaris. Nick and Julie. All right, they're back. It's 3 weeks since I last talked to you before this last break. No kidding, 21 days. Look who's here, looking very well rested. Here are Bunny and Perry Hartman. Who will forget them? You're from Chicago, and you were honest to say that you're both very busy. You have a child 13 months old. That's taken a lot of your time. And you looked up to discover, after only 3 years of marriage, that, hey, this was no sizzle. Pow, tell us everything went great. Where'd you go?
Sybaris.
Sybaris. You mean with the sexy hotel with all the mirrors and everything?
With the slide and everything.
You're kidding me, right in the mood? What is that like? I mean, with these, these are very conservative people here. Our audience as well. You got to watch it all the time. Would they have a good time at the...
Anybody in the world could have a good time. But the second you step in, it's like you just get sizzled with it. It's great.
That's a medical term. Yes. All right, we gave them a camera. They took pictures of the experience at the Sybaris. You don't want to see it, though. All right, well, you're on. Let's go. Perry and Bunny, you're first. Roll the tape. We go to the videotape. Here they are, this couple of parents of... Boy, I'll tell you what. Look at this is inside the room.
Yeah, look at that slide.
Yeah.
And you have a waterfall. It's a two-level suite.
Boy, you're not a threat to any of the cameramen, I'll tell you. But that's all right, Perry. You did the job.
Let's got great mood lighting throughout.
Watch this.
Go towards the room.
Oh, go upstairs. Look at this.
There's the bed with the mirror.
There's the mirrors.
Gotta love that mirror. Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah. Watch the coverage on this. Look at this. Our cameraman should watch this. Can we see her? No, she's behind them. That does look like... Now he's coming. Head first. There you go. God, I can't... nice job on that. So, morning after.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
You just go to bed.
Thank you, Phil.
It's been my pleasure, I assure you.
Thank you, Phil.
So, Bunny, tell us, different now? You got what? You realized what? I mean, you don't, maybe nothing. Maybe you just had a good time. I'm wondering.
Well, I did realize something. I discovered that it is very important that we take time for ourselves. Because it's been over 5 months since we had been out by ourselves. So, the moment I got in that hot tub, I was like, this is heaven. Yeah. I'm relaxed. I haven't been relaxed for like a year and a half, so it was great. We're going to do it. We're going to get away a lot more often.
And you had a babysitter for your child that you trusted, and so you didn't have that agony, worrying.
It was my sister, so I have to take advantage of family members because I won't take her to a sitter.
We should all have sisters like this. Perry? Anytime I want to send you to Sybaris, you're going to go. Is that right?
You got it.
All I got to do is call you.
Just call me.
You wanted to ask a question? You may remember the Dimals.
Day-to-day stuff.
And the newness and the nervousness of the honeymoon wasn't there. I've often kidded and said it's a lemon moon. And yours was your honeymoon?
This was definitely much better than our honeymoon because we went horseback riding and she had bruises from here to here and we had 0 sex. So this definitely was.
Yeah, you mean this really. Yeah. This is good. Well, you didn't tell us about that. I didn't know about that. I just don't want you. Well, the Hartmans are joined by Kaya, their beautiful child, 13 months old, and we're so glad you joined us. Look at this baby.
14 months now.
14. I better get it right. Well, what may be the moral of this story? If you're married, don't take it for granted. Do something about it.
Keep it alive.
Keep it alive. Keep it loving. Keep it mutual. Well, we didn't send you around the world, but it looked like you had an awful good time where you did go, and it's been our pleasure. Join me in thanking all these folks for telling us.
Services provided and promotional fees paid by the following.